Welcome to ARWP, the All Real Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Eric Novak, and today we have a special guest. He is the classic Cody Chhun. I know you guys like this video. I'll see you at the end of it. Enjoy it. I know you will.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me on.
What's up, man? Of course, thanks so much for being on. We have so many questions. Let's start with the first and most famous one. What made you want to pursue this amazing thing we call wrestling?
I think it's always everyone has the same answer. Just as a kid, everyone watches as a kid with their parents or with their family, and I kind of knew by I've always wanted to do it, and I kind of fell out of it. Then maybe around age 16, 17, I started really. When everyone in high school starts to focus on what college they're going to go to, I started focusing on what wrestling schools I can search up. Instead of going to college, I just went straight to wrestling training.
Awesome. And what kind of matches were you watching? What caught your eye? What was it about wrestling that, again, wanted you to you can watch it, with your family, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot of mental strength. It takes a lot of toll in your body to actually give up stuff like college and this and that to make a career for yourself in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it mainly like that really said, no, this is what I'm gonna follow. This is my passion.
I think around that time in high school, I was watching growing up, I was watching all the WWE stuff and the TNA 2006, 2005, the crazy fun TNA stuff, things like that. And then at that point, I just really was like, I don't think I really like school that much anymore. And a lot of my counselors and teachers will always say, college isn't for everybody. They go, you're young enough, why don't you just go try something? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go try it. So I started watching a lot of WWE. A lot of 2013, 2014 WWE stuff. That really got me back into it. And then it wasn't really until I started training, I started figuring out about things like the independent scene and things like New Japan Pro Wrestling or a lot of the big indie scenes. I didn't really figure it out until late 2015, 2016.
All
and
right.
then that's what kept me more interested in it. So I started transitioning from just watching just straight WWE to figuring out all these indie wrestlers and all these indie promotions and how they do it. It was pretty cool.
All right, awesome. So tell me about the first time you ever laced up, the boots and got in the ring. Tell me about the whole conversation of how you got your first match, who booked it, who you facing in it, and just how you felt before and after.
Right. I had my first match about 4 months after my first training session, which I thought was pretty early because everyone in my school didn't have a match that quick. But it was in a 4-on-4 tag match, so of course I was very protected and very hidden. You come in and do one thing, you tag out, you get out of the ring, and you just keep watching. But it was against my trainer. So it was against my trainer. He was on the other team. And it was pretty much just all my teammates. So they had me come along to the show because they just to watch. So it's okay. But I had a feeling that they were going to throw me in there because one of our teammates who was already booked for the match, his wife went into labor, so he had to pull out.
Mm-hmm.
So they put me in it, but they had all this surprise random gear for me to wear. They're like, "Oh, you're wrestling? Here, take this." So I had kick pads and Muay Thai shorts and a black mask. And I couldn't breathe. I weighed 150 pounds, and I was super nervous. And my mouth was just dry the whole time. But it was just super easy, and there was it's just this, and this, and it'll be it. And it literally was it. I mean, it's on YouTube somewhere. I haven't seen the match since that day I did, because I was still super new into it.
I'll make sure to find it.
It was a good time. It was a fun time, fun trip.
All right, well, let's talk about, where you are now, where you are with your career, and who you faced. You had so many amazing, memorable matches. Tell me about, when your career really took off, where you started versing guys like Christopher Daniels, Robbie Eagles, so many more. When did all this start? And you've been talked about in the independent scene. You're one of the most talked about wrestlers right now in the independent scene. So tell me about, because Defy is very popular. Defy Wrestling is a very popular company. Being on there gives you a big eye for wrestling companies like New Japan Pro Wrestling, like ROH, like Impact, all that. So tell me about how Defy came to be. How did you get the call to Defy?
Yeah. So when they first came, I had to miss the first show because I worked at the movie theater at the time and I couldn't get the day off. But I heard But I remember just the hype going in for Defy's first show because they were bringing Cody Rhodes in, and I remember all of us at the school were like, "Well, let's pray this one really takes off because we need something in this area." Because around that time, we only really had like 3 or 4 promotions that people really didn't know about. But when Defy hit, and then the first show happened, and I heard about everything, I was like, "Wow, okay." And I started doing ring crew from then on. After from the second show and then on, just met with everybody, kept doing ring crew, watched the show, see what I can like learn from the show and pick what I can get from there. And then I just kept doing ring crew, and then I eventually got into like tag matches from here and there. It was really like me and some other guy versus 2 other people, and a
Yeah,
lot of
you
people
you had a
felt
good
like,
tag. You had a good tag team for a while. I don't know what that's happened, from now, but as your career evolutionized, you were
yeah,
starting out as a tag team wrestler.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
It was just, I guess I was just very super likable with the crowd. Like I caught lightning in a bottle one night in like a huge 10-man match. I caught lightning in a bottle, and I felt like the crowd was super behind me. From there on, like the crowd would like take over the matches, and matches that I wasn't like chanting my name. So I was like, well, I didn't know what I did to. I guess maybe I just super likable. I hit it off perfectly with the crowd. But from there, and they started keeping me in the tag matches, and they finally see the popularity start to go up, and they started throwing me in single matches, or they started having me win one match, and then I think it just caught on from there. And then last year, I just had like just a bunch of single matches and like the semi-main event position, or like the hot opener first match on the card, things like that, and that's what I think really helped me at Defy.
yeah. So tell me a couple goals. Tell me some goals you have for when the pandemic is over. What are things you want to
Mm.
face, or people you want to verse, or even venues you want to be at and shows you want to debut at?
Yeah, well, of course, I want to debut on like places like GCW, PWG, like New Japan, and I really want to. I've been doing this for maybe about 4 years now. I really want to take myself to someplace overseas, like a dojo of some sort. I really want to like. I had a friend named Cash. He went to a 0-1 dojo for like 3 months in Japan. It sounded like a great experience. I know somebody I know is training currently at the Fale Dojo in New Zealand. I also have a friend who was a coach there like 2 years ago. And I really want to try something overseas, abroad, like just devote 3 months of my life to professional wrestling, like full time in it, training every day, all day, all night, wrestling, working out, things like that. That's what I really want to try to do. I really wish I did that before this pandemic happened. Like if I was overseas somewhere, I couldn't get back home.
Yeah.
Like then I would be fully in it. I wouldn't have to worry about the pandemic too much. But for like if local scene around here, I just want our whole local scene to grow. In the past 2-3 years, we have so many promotions now in this Pacific Northwest area. That's like if I can attract people with my Defy wrestling, I want them to watch the whole card of Defy and see what other local wrestlers are on it, and then watch them. So I want this area to go big and popping, because back then, like when I first started, this area was really not talked about. But now we have up and coming wrestlers, and I want more people to figure us out and make this a hotbed for wrestling.
All right, awesome, awesome. So, like I said, what have you been doing during the pandemic? What have you been productive? Like, have you been productive? Have you been working out? Have you been exercising? Have you been getting ready for in-ring return? Or have you already had a match during the pandemic or been in the ring recently?
I have not been in a ring since I think February. My last match was in February, so I haven't had a match since then. And then I think for like the first month, I was just like staying low, and I would just go to work. I would work Monday through Friday, do my thing, come home, work out, try to eat correctly. But I mean, it's been 5, 6 months now. We've been still in this. It's really hard,
Yeah.
especially in this area. A lot of people in Seattle, have been taking it very seriously with the pandemic, but I guess just not enough. But some schools around here are opening back up. My school, or my training ground, hasn't been opening up. So right now it's just been like running up and down the street or trying to lift weights and do something. Been watching work is very slow, so I watch a lot of like old film just to try to keep myself like
Yeah.
not 100% out of it. Try to keep something in my head all the time.
All right, that's good. You know, you don't want to completely forget about it. You don't want to be bored at home, so it's good that you're occupying yourself with like movies and all that. And hopefully your training academy does open up soon. We want to see you back in the
Yeah.
ring as soon as possible. So, like I
Yes, sir.
mentioned, you know, you have versus Christopher Daniels, Robbie Eagles. Tell me a few matches that you are really a big fan of, and not because it was you in it, but because of just how much the match meant to you or how good the match was in general. That a lot of people that are listening to this should go and watch.
Okay. I think for sure number one match, and it happened at Defy Wrestling last year around like this day, was the match I had against Christopher Daniels. So they had like an 8X GP tournament for like to challenge for the title, and I advanced on the first night, and then the second night I opened against Christopher Daniels, and it was the summer, like the middle of the summer, and it was extremely hot, And then when his music, I remember just being like so nervous, you know. And I would be like stuttering, talking in the back, or like right before I was gonna go out, I was like drinking like 2 bottles of water, and then I had to go run to the bathroom, then I run back, run to the bathroom, like things like that. Like that's how nervous I was. And then everyone was like, "You'll be fine, don't worry, just do your thing." But when I went out there, like that's like probably the loudest match I've ever been in, and for like a lot of football fans. Here in Seattle, the Seahawks have like the loudest stadium, and I used to work at the stadium, and it used to be to the point like it would get like the games would get so hot like you couldn't hear what like, and I sell to customers at the Seahawks stadium when I worked there. I couldn't hear what they wanted to buy, so you would have to wait for the crowd to settle down. That's how it felt when I wrestled Christopher Daniels. Like I was just standing there. I was like, dude, I can't even hear nothing. But it was such a great moment, and I feel like that was probably the best piece of myself and like what style of match I like to do. I like to just do things very like just super simple and basic and see how far we can stretch it out. And then like just the hype behind that match and like the feeling of the crowd is like one of those matches that's like, if you like want to know who Classic Chhun is, like please watch this match first. And it's free. It's free on Defy's Wrestling YouTube page, which is nice.
Yeah, that must have been a huge moment. Christopher Daniels is a legend, especially when you say you watched, you know, TNA Impact around the time that you have.
Yes.
He was a big part of that. So tell me about, you know, what do you look for when you want to get signed? What do you want to do, and what company do you want to do it for?
I'd say I'm pretty open to pretty much any company. It's not like I really want to go specifically here, or it's kind of a hard question. But I really just want to. I really want to finally get myself up there to have people at these companies watching me, or at least like trying to keep tabs on me. Like, oh, we have this guy named Classic Chhun here in Seattle. Let's keep an eye on him for a few months, see what's going on. But if I could get signed somewhere, it'd be great. It'd be awesome. It'd be a total life change. And honestly, there's a lot of people. I mean, I can't think of a lot of people who don't want to be signed. I guess a lot of people just really want to just kind of be their own person, like a lot of independent wrestlers are, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would love to be like that too. I just really want to get to a point in wrestling where people can go, oh yeah, Classic Chhun's pretty good. Like, I want people to be like, yeah, Classic Chhun is great. There's no denying that. Like, no matter where he wrestles, he can try to do his best for his thing. But I mean, if someone wants to sign me, not hard to reach, I would love to.
What is the largest card you ever worked? The smallest card you ever worked?
Ooh, man. I know for a fact the smallest card I worked was in Portland. We did this show, and the promoter wanted to run every Saturday. And it was like the summer of like 2017 or something. We were just like, okay, every Saturday, like that's cool. Like we'll come down. So I started getting the Saturdays off work, and then we started the same group of guys, like the 4 of us would come down every Saturday. But every Saturday, like the shows would just get smaller and smaller and smaller. I think at one point there was only like maybe 7 people, and I've done shows for 7 people like at least more than like 10 times, you know. And a lot of small cities in Washington will have shows that only have like 10, like 7 people in the crowd. And in a way, having that many people doesn't really affect what I want to bring out, perform, or create with my match, because it's like I'm still gonna work hard, and whoever I'm wrestling with is still gonna work hard, because it's a very hard sport. It's a very hard like act to, or very hard profession to do, and there's no way like I'm gonna go in there and half-ass something for just because there's 8 people. Like these 8 people paid to see something, so like why would I give them less effort? Like I still like wrestling in front of 8 people, like no problem. And I love just like if it's just like 8 people, I'll start to like be really loose with the match. Like, oh, we don't really have to like dot and write down everything that we need to do. Like we can just go out there and really have fun. Yeah, just do our thing, like freelance it. But the largest crowd I think would have been, man. I mean, do we count conga lines at WWE Raw?
Oh,
No.
were you part of it? Were you on No Way Jose's conga line?
I've done a few conga lines. Yeah.
I did not know that. Interesting.
It's just like it's pretty cool seeing like that many people go to a wrestling show. You know, from like where the WWE wrestlers would stand and on the ramp and everything. It's pretty cool. But for wrestling, myself, I probably had to be one of the Defy shows that we had. Like the ones with Christopher Daniels, like that one, or the but I think that might have been the biggest one. I've been a part of a crowd of a lot of big local shows, but never were on it.
All right. Well, you know, you're starting out. You'll get there. You'll get to the stadiums. You'll get to all that eventually.
Yes.
Well, let's get some more of like, again, you face so many people. Who do you want to face? I'm giving you 5 names. You get to pick 5 names. They could be your idols. But they have to be alive. But just who would you want to face in the ring in the future? Dream matches of some sort.
Dream matches. Oh, wow. There's a lot of local wrestlers I would love to face, and there's those guys. But like dream matches kind of stuff, like right now, currently today, I'd love to wrestle. Damn, that's a good question. I'd love to wrestle Eddie Kingston.
All right.
I think that's a wild card choice, but I met him at a PCW Ultra show in California. And I just sat next to him in the locker room all the time and just listened. Sorry. I just listened. Like I didn't like I asked a question, but I would just sit and listen to his story. And like he explained like different match psychologies, like of what he would use. And then it made like totally perfect sense. And I watched the match that he had. I was like, wow. He told me the whole psychology of it. And then he showed up on AEW a few weeks ago, and I was like, look at this guy. This guy's killing it.
Yeah. He got signed, if I'm not wrong. He got signed.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah. Like, that's awesome. I think he's pretty great. I'd love to also wrestle people like people like Okada, because I think he's probably one of the best wrestlers right now. And just watching his matches is awesome. But I know if I would wrestle Okada, I would have to go twice as harder on my stamina in the ring, because his matches are always like 30, 40 minutes long. And I don't think I've ever wrestled that long before. I've also always wanted to wrestle, he's on NXT now, Isaiah Swerve Scott. I can't remember his independent name.
Shane Strickland.
I've always wanted to wrestle him and I thought I would get a chance to, because he was kind of leaving Defy to go towards, like NXT, when I was kind of coming up in Defy. So I thought our cross could pass, and I could get that one-on-one match, for like the people in Seattle, which I thought would have been really cool. I thought like I never heard of him until I saw Defy, and then I saw like Lucha Underground. I was like, oh, that is him. And then I was like, well, and then he helped Defy, for what 3 years, and I always thought like I could get like a cool like little match with him. Like we're both on the same collision towards each other. Probably 2 other people. Man, it's a hard list to choose. I'd love to wrestle Robbie Eagles one more time too.
Okay.
I think with him, that was like one of my first really like you're wrestling a name match. That was like that's pretty much like my first one-on-one singles match against a name that was like you got the spotlight on you. You got 15 minutes. Go do what you want to do. So Robbie, and he's like super humble. If you tell him like I told him, I was like, you're the first name I wrestled. He was like, I'm not a name. I'm just a guy. I was like, nah, don't play yourself, And he was just like super kind during the whole match. And then like after the match, he like told me everything, like what he thought, what went well, what went, what could have been better, things like that. And he still keeps in contact with me, even though he lives in Australia. Like when he came over last year for the Best of Super Juniors, or no, the Super J Cup, he was like before like New Japan announced it, he was like, hey, I'm coming to Seattle on this day. Are you gonna be free? I was like, what are you doing in Seattle for? And he's like, oh, they're doing the New Japan thing. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be free. I'll probably be on ring crew anyways too.
Yeah.
So it was cool. And then he invited me out the night before the show, to hang out in Seattle with a bunch of like the other wrestlers, and I thought it was pretty cool. Like he didn't have to do that; he was just being super kind. And then now I feel like I've grown way more as a wrestler in the short time since I wrestled him. Like I know I would like to wrestle him again and have another match with him.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I saw it, and it's one of my favorite matches. Robbie Eagles is the type of person, or he was in that role, where he was like overlooked for so long until New Japan got him. And when he did the whole Bullet Club into Chaos, his storyline got so much more powerful as an actual character. Like he's not being overlooked like with Will Ospreay. With Will Ospreay, they're a tag team. They're birds of prey. They're doing so much. So I would love to get a rematch. You both evolved. You both grown up to the classics. It'll be insane. You got one more.
He's awesome. He's awesome. And I think maybe a fifth, I'd say someone like Jonathan Gresham.
Okay.
I think right now he's like a Dean Malenko for like right now, like in this generation that we're wrestling in. I think he's like a Dean Malenko. Like not too long ago, he announced like Ring of Honor Pure titles coming back, and they're having a Pure tournament. But his style of wrestling is like what most of my school like does, but I may not like get to do it as often in a lot of my matches. But I think he's great, and he's been to Seattle a couple times. He's wrestled on different shows around here, and he's had seminars around here, but I just haven't been able to like go to the seminars. But every time, like if his like a free match pops up or something him comes on Twitter, like I have to watch it because this guy's like a super technician. He's like a wrestling genius, basically. And I was like, this guy's great.
Do you think technician wrestlers are better? I'm trying to see how I could say this. Wrestling, it's a game of chess. You have to follow your opponent's moves. Are you more of a technical? Do you like versing technical guys? Do you like versing high flyers? What connection do you have more with? Like, for example, I'll give you one. Will Ospreay and Ricochet. They're both high flyers. They both have in-sequence type of matches. They do all these amazing stuff. For you, what is it? A high flyer, a technician, a bruiser? What would be the best opponent style for you?
Honestly, I think the best opponent style for me is someone like a bruiser. Okay. I think with my style of matches, I'm like a total babyface. Like most of the times they say, they ask you like, what moves do you hit? And I go, I don't hit moves. Like you hit moves on me and I'll sell. That's exactly how my matches go. And I feel like because you get the sympathy, and then once you get the sympathy from the crowd, like they start to go follow behind you. So I think a bruiser is what I would really like to wrestle against, like people like Brody King, guys like that.
John Moxley, they're That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I like the way you said that. I I never pictured it or understood it like that. That you're the baby face, so for you, you want to sell more for the bruisers. I didn't
Hmm.
understand it. So it's really cool that I got to hear that firsthand.
Yeah, yeah. I like doing that a lot. I just let me sell and let me try to get sympathy, and then I'll try to fire back when I can.
All right. All right. Here's a hard one. I don't want you to like say it right away. I want you to think about it. And I'm not putting you in the spot. It's not like, would you go to this company? It's pick a company. It's basically this. Every company has their talent. Amazing talent. Like you named Kazuchika Okada for New Japan. You named, Jonathan Grisham. He's in, I believe, ROH. You named
Hmm.
a lot of amazing wrestlers with different companies. If I gave you a contract, but it only has to be with the athletes, the people that are in the locker room, what company would you go to because of the locker room, because of the amount of talent that's in that locker room? So I'm giving you
Wow.
everything. You have MLW, NWA, PWG, GCW. You got all these companies, amazing Raw, SmackDown, WWE, NXT, all that. Impact, ROH I already named, all even Noah, Dragon Gate, all that. You have everything wrestling. You could pick
Hmm.
anything. What would it be? Because of the talent that's in there.
Let's see, because of the talent. Hmm. It's hard. There's a lot of up and coming
Yeah.
wrestlers that are totally like just breaking in and kicking the door
GCW
down.
brought out Alex Zane, Blake Christian. Those guys are like the most talked about right now.
Yeah, and like Blake Christian, I had no idea where he came from other than GCW. Like I saw a clip on Twitter and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Then I started like watching his matches. I was like, "This guy can fly."
Yeah.
And now he's like he made it to like he's on New Japan here in the States, which is crazy. But
Yeah, so think about it.
honestly, I think I would like to wrestle in like New Japan because I really like their work ethic. I like the discipline that a lot of them take, and they take a lot of pride in their work
Mm-hmm.
and their wrestling, and that's what I really enjoy. And I think to a point, I would like to be at that spot where you wrestle 20 minutes every night and have a different story every night.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a lot of, even if like, just because I don't speak the Japanese language or understand it,
Yeah.
you can tell and you can look just by watching the match, like what a character does. With they all have like the colorful colors and the flashy tights. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they take a lot of pride in their work, and a lot of them are like they might not look like it, but I know a lot of them are probably like super athletes and just
Mm-hmm.
have amazing discipline. And you put yourself in what you want to surround yourself with the people you want to be with, and with the kind of mentality you got. I think they got the right ones. Not saying other places don't have it, but I feel like that would fit like my mindset of just going hard.
All right. No, yeah. And again, like I said, you're not picking, you're not choosing. It's just the talent. Talent moves around all the time.
Hmm.
It's all about just the locker room. Because at any day, at any point, some company would be like, we need guys for a show.
Yep.
And the talent in there is insane. And like I said, a lot of wrestling right now is more than just specific three companies. It's more a GCW. It's Dragon Gate. It's all that. There's so much talent.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the. I want to say, so you became babyface. Is that what you want to stick with? Was that something that you want to follow even when you evolve to like your full extent? Like you have wrestlers, and I think it was the most famous thing that back in the day in WWE, that was a signature thing. The biggest babyface would turn out to be like the biggest heel. Like it's
Hmm.
all that. Do you see yourself following creative changes? Would you do the heel game? Would you play, the role? And would you know how to? Or is it just too early for you to think about that?
I don't think it's ever too early. I think where I would go naturally would always be babyface. Like if I always tell like a true babyface is like someone if you sent me to like the middle of nowhere, like of Iowa, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody knows about me, and nobody knows nothing, nobody knows I'm even on the show, but I come out, I wrestle the match, and I get the crowd behind me. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a true babyface, and I think I'm very good at that. I hopefully am very good at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, with playing the other side of the ring, it is. I think it's a completely different wrestling game, and I think it's way more harder than people think. A lot of people think like just playing heel just means like cussing at the crowd or like flicking people off and like cheating, but it's like it's a whole different mindset of thinking, because you got to make the babyface look great, and then in return, if making him look great, he'll make you look great with the things that you do. But I do like playing babyface, like always. Like if someone was like heads or tails, babyface, or I'd be like babyface. Let's do it. It's just like easier, because really all you have to do is like just listen to what the heel calls in the match and just follow suit.
All right, awesome. I like that. So I love how every time I ask you a question, you're like, man, it's a hard one, because I got another one that to me is even difficult to ask. So you were a part of a tag team, and you know creative changes always come and go. Let's say it gets signed, and it's for each company. So I like playing this game because I feel like you don't normally get these questions. You have every company. I'll name you the company. You name me the dream tag partner. You get a tag partner. You're gonna be it's a tag team with someone. Who will it be? Ready? So I'll name you the company. You name me your partner. All right?
Okay.
Let's start with the most famous ones and we'll go down. You know, or I'll just think about like A to Z, whatever. So let's start with WWE. Oh, you have Raw. Who would be your perfect Raw tag team partner?
Ooh.
It's supposed to be like a quick think one. Like I want it to be like a game kind of.
Okay.
All right.
I think is Chad Gable on Raw?
No, SmackDown. SmackDown.
Okay, well, I have my answer for SmackDown.
Okay.
Maybe for Raw, I would choose someone like Cedric Alexander or Ricochet.
Love it. All right, that's what I expected. All right, love it. Okay, and what tag team would you want to? Well, I feel like you've been really busy, so you haven't been watching that much wrestling, right? Most likely. So I'm gonna skip from that question. But okay, we got Chad Gable or Ricochet for Raw. SmackDown, we got Chad Gable. Now I want to stop for a second because that's a very interesting one for me. Chad Gable, why? Why Chad Gable?
Chad Gable was a huge part in like NXT of 2016, and I think that year they focused like really hard on women's wrestling and tag team wrestling. So one of my favorite matches is American Alpha, Chad Gable, Jason Jordan against the Revival at NXT Dallas, like WrestleMania weekend. And like that was just like a perfect like old school tag match, and the crowd was going nuts for them. But like and I also saw Chad Gable wrestle on a house show in Seattle, and against the Revival, a tag team match, and I was like standing ovation. Like this match was crazy. I hope someone filmed it in like 10 years they'll release it or something.
I'm sure it's on. All right, awesome. I love that because that's such a not weird but unique answer. Not people would say Chad Gable based on what the role he's been playing as Shorty G on SmackDown. But I like that. I like that you stick with the roots, not about the updated look. Okay, NXT.
I'd love to team with Jake Atlas.
All right, okay. You gotta get in the back of the line because Lucas Riley also wants to team with Jake Atlas.
Oh yeah.
So it's a pretty long road with Jake Atlas right now. All right. Let's talk with AEW. And there's a lot of amazing people in AEW. Who would you want?
Man, there's a lot of people in AEW. A lot of good people. I'd love to team with. I love the team with like Neville. I like his intensity. Okay. He's always intense. Yeah.
All right, I like that. But how would that work? He's really a heel. He's like scared. I'll tell you a story. I was at a WWE event, and this was again off the record and all that. And then we were at the back. It was MSG. We were at the back, and my friend goes like Pac was getting into his car, and he was behind a gate, and he was like Pac, and he got his hand close, and Pac looked at him. And extended his hand for a minute until he put it down, and he got run into his car like with the most like scary expression. So I'm over here thinking, how would someone like you, one of the biggest baby faces, go up against one of the biggest heels like Pac? I like that. What would you call that tag team? What would you?
I don't even know, but I know he would be the more intense one of the group, I would just kind of be the guy.
All right. Okay.
But I think I like his wrestling and I like his intensity, his character. It's awesome.
Awesome. So let's go. Are you familiar with MLW? Are you familiar with their roster?
A little bit, yeah.
Who from MLW would you like to tag with?
I'd like to team with Fatu.
Okay, all right, that's a unique one. I like it.
Fatu is great. Like, and he's on these Seattle shows a lot,
Mm-hmm. All
and
right.
then PCW shows, and I watch him like every time he's on. I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll go watch the match because this
Okay.
guy is like amazing. He'll show up to the building and just like 30 minutes before his match, just kind of like sit down and listen. I'm like, I got you, and then just go out there and kill it every time.
Awesome.
And he's killing on MLW
Yeah,
also.
yeah, he's
It's
definitely
great.
killing it. That's why I was really impressed with that answer. All right, NWA. Are you familiar with NWA? Are you familiar with their product?
Yeah.
Who would you tag team with there?
I really like. I would say I already know he's in the tag team, but I like Royce Isaacs.
Okay, all right. No, yeah, you could always
Um,
be. You could always be. You could take anyone, even if they're in a tag team. So yeah.
yeah, I really like Royce's work because I've wrestled against him and I've seen his tag team stuff and I watch him on Wednesdays on like
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes out on Wednesdays on YouTube.
Yeah.
But Royce is great.
All right, awesome. And now my favorite company, a company that I love so much, Impact. I feel like Impact has one of
Mm.
the most amazing talented roster, and I would love to hear who you would see as a tag partner for Impact.
Let's see, who would I pick? Man, there's a lot of people now.
Yeah, the tag team's insane with Reno Scum, Falaba, and TJP. You got there's a lot of amazing tag teams. You got the Rascals, amazing tag team.
Yeah.
There's so many amazing tag teams.
Honestly, I would like to join the Rascals. Those guys are
Yeah, fourth
killers.
member.
The three of them. I was supposed to wrestle them in a tag team match before like all of this happened, and I was so bummed out it couldn't happen.
It's insane how almost everyone that I interviewed had a big match coming up during, because it's summer, like this is summertime, so it's like they
Yeah.
were supposed to. And every time I interview someone, they talk about like this match and they like fell through during the pandemic. I can just imagine that when the pandemic ends, how many matches are gonna be booked with like the same talent is gonna go insane, rosters are gonna go insane. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are cutting down to the last few minutes. So I would like to know, with merch goes, are you getting any new merch, or can we buy your merch? Where can we buy your merch?
Yeah. I had a recently I've been wearing like a Chhun and Done shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So I got them for a show, and of course the pandemic happened, and I couldn't bring them I couldn't sell them at a show.
Mm-hmm.
But recently I just a fellow wrestler, a friend of mine, Ethan HD. He has this comic book store. I just gave him all the shirts. I was like, "Hey, man, sell these," because a lot of wrestlers take their shirts to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he sells them there for like if fans want to just get there locally instead of paying shipping and things like
Yeah.
that. I just took my shirts to him. I said, "It's your store. Just take whatever. Like you sell at whatever price, you take whatever price.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's cool with me." But I have I signed up for Pro Wrestling Tees, but I haven't put anything on there yet. I do have a What a Maneuver store that I have 2 designs on. And I really just want to start reaching out into different types of merch for people other than just T-shirts.
Yeah, like plushes. I could see a Cody Chhun pop. I would love that. The
Cody Chhun
micro
pop?
minis, those minis, micro
Yeah.
pint-sized heroes or micro brawlers.
Oh, yeah, those. Things like that. Like, I would love to make things like that. Like, the Funko Pops. Funko Pops are cool. I actually have one right here. A fan made one for me from Defy.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it's on your
made a-
Insta. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really
This was pretty cool.
yeah. That was
Maybe one day it'll go on eBay for like $500 or something.
Imagine signed.
Yeah, as soon as it's signed, that'd be pretty cool. But like, it's just always different type of merch, and I always want to. And for shirts, like shirt wise, I always want to design something or create something that's like something you can wear like every day.
Yeah, like the
That doesn't
greatest
look like
hero, like something like you gotta just come up with like the best, not slang, but like writing, like the best, like it has to be something like an everyday thing. I think you won't have that much of an issue coming up with it. You have a lot of I actually like it was your most recent thing, and I'm a huge fan of it. I'm about to show you. It's recently this artwork. It's amazing. Whoever made that, this one right here, love it.
Yeah,
Love it. It's awesome.
that's amazing.
Yeah, that would be awesome on a shirt.
Yeah, I really with that artist, I asked her. I was like, "Can you I saw, I saw their work,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like wrestling ring, or it's like wrestling in comic book style. I was like, I hit the person. I was like, this is great. I was like, could you ever draw something for me? I'll pay you whatever price,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And they were like, yeah, I can totally. And then out of nowhere, like 2 days later, they just dropped that photo. I was like, yo,
Insane.
what is this?
Insane.
I was like, this is crazy. Like beyond expectations. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
People were like, can we get a shirt of this? Can we do a shirt of this? And I go, well, it's up to the artist, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
But,
you gotta ask. You gotta. Well, I mean, with pro wrestling tees, all you gotta do is show them that image, an actual boxed up image. But yeah, approval from the artist. That's also one thing. But yeah, we would love to see. I would love to get a plush or a mystery mini or pint size here. I would love to get some merch. I would love to support. Let's let's get in contact. All right.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Where can people follow you on all platforms of social media, including YouTube, including Twitch, whatever you do that you want people to follow you on?
Right. So Twitter is going to be Classic Chhun, at Classic Chhun. So, and then just Classic spelled regularly. My last name is Chhun. A lot of people get the last name confused a lot, but yeah, Twitter and Instagram are going to be the same handle. My Facebook, I don't really put a lot of wrestling stuff on there. So that's just my name if people really want to add me. But things like YouTube, I'm going to start trying to do a YouTube channel soon. Just trying to put like behind the scenes stuff, or like a lot of like match analysis stuff from my own matches and like what I thought about when I was going through this.
Like a vlog? You want to do like vlogging, like Sammy Guevara type vlogs?
Yeah, I would love to vlog. It's a lot of editing hours.
Yeah,
but I really want to do that. Twitch, maybe soon. I just got a new computer, just building and everything.
All right.
So maybe I can do Twitch.
All right.
Yeah, but with the last name, I was very surprised. Like you pronounced my last name correctly. I was like, wow, a lot of people don't really pronounce my last name correctly. So
I will be completely honest with you. Like I hate botch, and I have botched so many. If you knew, I have botched so many names or forgot names in mid. Like there have been worse times where when I got you, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just watch how they introduce him. And just say it in the mirror, because I do not want to embarrass him and disrespect him in any way. Like literally, like that was the moment. Me introducing you was the moment for me. After that, I
like that. Yeah, I like that.
But yeah,
that's funny.
But yeah, thank you so much for being on. It is an honor. Thank you everyone for listening. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching that video. If you want to support Cody, go look up his matches. Go find him on social media. Go follow him on all platforms of social media. That's all in the bio below. You can easily look at it. He's got Instagram. He's got Twitter. Go follow him. If you want to support me in any way, go follow me. All my information is in the bottom below. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm always there. I'm always active. I always respond to you guys. And like I said, I got some more interviews coming up. A lot of big ones. A lot of really, really cool ones. I can't mention it just yet, but they will be coming, and they will be coming soon. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.